you do a lot with, I mean, in the solos over the years, you use your hands a lot. Was that inspired by a particular drummer, or is that something that you just decided to do in your solos?
The drummer that became famous doing that, the first drummer that became famous doing that was John Bonham. I mean, on a really big level. Yeah. And he's the one that everyone goes to, oh, guy's playing with his hands. It was incredible. Yeah. Apart from everything else that John Bonham is. The first person that I ever heard play drums with their hands was a drummer called Frosty, and he was with Lou Michaels, it was a two-piece band. Big, huge B3 with bass pedals, and he played the bass notes with his feet. And Frosty was this huge drummer with platinum blonde hair, looked like a big surfer dude, and he played a solo with his hands. I saw that when I was a kid. So this was pre-Zeppelin, so that was the first person I'd ever heard. When I started doing it, when I was a little kid in my rehearsal room, because my father didn't even know that I was a drummer until my Aussie days, really. A professional drummer, because he didn't support it, and he thought you're either you have some deviant sexual problems and you're a drug addict, or a combination of both if you were in the music business. Yeah. And so my mom was somewhat supportive, so I hid it from my father for literally decades. And so I would practice when my dad was home and put towels in the shed in the back, and I mentioned earlier, and put towels of the around like that, because I wasn't through playing for the day. Yeah. I didn't set a timer for my rehearsal time. I just go in my little drum room and just play for hours, and my mom would come and grab me and say it's time to have lunch, and then boom, I'm back. Yeah. And so when Dad was in, I would still sneak out, not sneak, but I'd go out into my room and I'd put blankets over them, or towels. Interesting sounds out of it. Yeah. Very subtle stuff,
So when you were doing this live, big arena or something like that, did you ever, especially with the cymbals, did you ever cut your hands?
Ever? Oh.
I'm sure you did, but.
You have to be careful. These things are shiny and they sound awesome, but they're sharp as hell on the edges, boy. Yeah. And I've cut myself. If I don't pay really close attention, you have to pay attention when you start hitting really sharp stuff with your hands. Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying, but I've cut myself. I keep waiting for all the, arthritis and all the things that a lot of drummers that don't do all this silly stuff that are starting to have, and thank the good Lord, I don't have any issues. Wow. I have a lot of calluses. I have more calluses more than my gardener has. Yeah. But, and it was just something, it was never ever planned on to use it in a room with humans. Yeah. It was a rehearsal thing that I just passing my time in the studio, It was just fun. And so later on, when I was maybe in my mid-teens, we put a little band together. It was like a Santana Speed Freak band. Yeah. Well, I mentioned it to you earlier. And the bass player would double on congas, and the congas were right here. And so he would join me in the solo, and I started just reaching up. And when I would play the congas in the bar where we were playing, they would go ballistic. The crowd, and I said, "Oh, that works."
This works.
I just whatever works. Yeah. And you learn it from playing, and people, young drummers say, well, what should I do? Play in front of as many people as you can, as soon as you can, because it's different than rehearsing. Yeah. You find the stuff that works. I'm not so presumptuous to think that all these people that think that I know what I'm actually doing, I know that it's because, like in that section, I get together with the sound guy. Can you bring my kick drums down a couple of dBs, maybe boost the top, open up the gates on the toms so that things are open more? So it compensates, because there's no way, because I'm playing almost, and I try to back off on the level on my kick drums dynamically and still be articulate. It's not easy to do, you know. So I work with the sound guy so that we can get the most impact, so my hands and stuff just doesn't disappear underneath the bass drums. you know, because the mix wouldn't,
Wouldn't translate, yeah.
And I'm not so presumptuous to think that people out there that if you have to do a meet and greet and you meet a young up and coming kid that's, you know, like a 10-year-old kid, and he thinks, man, I thought you would be bigger, because you want to be bigger than life.
Yeah.
Kiss's whole claim to fame is they're bigger than life, you know. And when you find get a little input from people that have been in the audience, and you say, oh, it's actually working. You play to the people back in the nosebleed section and be overly demonstrative. And I do these silly things just trying to connect to them and give them something in the cheap seats, you know?
Yeah.